Hello, hello. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon everyone. Mula sa DepEd, good afternoon and welcome to another E2Lie online tutorial. Okay? With me, Tutor Mary Grace, for the subject Philippine Contemporary Arts. Good afternoon din sa lahat ng mga teachers, sa lahat ng DepEd personnel at mga estudyante kasama ang kanilang magulang na nanonood sa atin ngayong araw na ito. So ngayon, ang ating magiging topic tayo ay nasa quarter 3, week 4, at ang topic natin ay Elements and Principles of Contemporary Arts, Art Forms from Different Regions and its Significance. Alright? So, ang ginagamit po nating module para sa aking, para sa aking E2Lie tutorial ay ang Philippine Contemporary Arts module mula sa Schools Division of Negros Oriental. So, thank you very much po for letting us use this module. Alright, so ano ba ang dapat nating matutunan? Anong competency ba ang dapat nating ma-achieve after this E2Lie online tutorial? Well, first, you need to be able to evaluate contemporary art forms based on the elements and or principles. Compare forms of arts from the different regions, relate the significance of art forms from the regions, and promote art forms from the regions. Okay? At ang gagawin natin, ang ating objectives at the end of the tutorial, to discuss the significance of elements and principles of contemporary arts, evaluate which elements and principles of contemporary arts are shown in various art forms, and show appreciation to the art forms from the various regions of the Philippines. Okay, there you go. So, wag na nating pahabain pa. Last week, pinag-usapan natin ano nga ba yung nako-contribute at ano nga ba yung role ng mga Filipino contemporary artists. Okay? So, napag-usapan natin kung ano yung mga bagay na dapat nilang gampanan bilang nagre-representa, bilang representative ng Philippine contemporary arts. This time around, we're going to be talking about the elements and principles. But before that, okay, be ready with your gadgets or with your pen and paper because it's time for quiz art. Okay? So, meron akong hinanda na questions, again, para sa inyo, para inyong sagutin. So, be ready. Pwede kayong mag-chat dun sa ating chat box, sa Facebook, sa YouTube man, para makita natin at ma-share sa mga nanonood kung ano yung sagot sa bawat tanong. Handa na ba kayo? Okay. Pabilisang mag-type o pabilisang magsulat. It's up to you. So, this is our first question for quiz art. El Gama Penumbra is known to be the Philippines' pride to win the first season of Asia's Got Talent. Question, what is their kind of performance? And again, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to type in your answer. And your 5 seconds starts now, but before that, these are the choices. Para maiba naman, multiple choice tayo. Is it A, singing, B, painting, C, shadow play, or D, all of the above? 5 seconds, go. While waiting for the answers, let me give a shout out sa mga nanonood from Tagkawayan, Quezon. We have here Elaine Dominic Nase, estudyante po siya ng Quezon Science High School. Good afternoon din po mula sa Santa Petronila PS District of Tapaz East Division of Capiz Region 6 Western Visayas. Good afternoon po at maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay ninyo dito sa ating online tutorial. And the answer is, ano kayang klaseng performance ang binibigay ng El Gama Penumbra? Tama ba ang sagot nyo? The answer is letter C, shadow play. Now, although this performing art also includes dancing and acting, but the primary medium is shadow play. So, it's more on the play of lights and the play of shadows. Okay, kaya nga El Gama Penumbra. Okay, so letter C is the correct answer. And we have correct answers coming from our viewers. Okay, so tama po ang mga sagot ni na si Cel Rebato, Sir JMB, ni Miss or Mr. Lee Suki. Okay, shadow play ang sinagot niya. Okay, thank you very much po. Hi din sa mga nanonood from Bacnotan National High School of La Union. Okay, moving on. Question number 2. Now we have this picture. Nahuhulaan niyo na ba kung ano yung nasa picture or kung ano yung tanong? Well, here it is. Coffee painting belongs to what element and or principles of contemporary art? Is it A, appropriation, B, hybridity, C, performance, or D, space? Are you ready? 5 seconds, go. So, good afternoon din po para sa mula sa mga nanonood from Pilar Capiz. Good afternoon, Ma'am Lulu Santiago, Ma'am Tarine Nelula. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Ang sagot, are you ready? Sana ito na yung second point nyo na kayo ay tama. Letter B, hybridity. Later on, we're going to talk about what hybridity means, okay? And the last question for this quiz art. Ready na kayo? This is the picture. Ayan, ano kayo nangyayari sa picture na ito? Here is your question. The following are examples, or this picture is an example of site-specific art form that is performed and positioned in specific spots, especially in public areas. Except, okay, alin sa mga example na to ang hindi kasama sa mga site-specific art forms? A, flash mob dance, B, human sentence formation, C, sculpture installation, or D, painting in the room. Are you ready? 5 seconds starts now. Okay, maraming nagsagot sa ating chat box. Letter B from Connie Araneta, from Miss Yvette Mislang, Miss Sarina Lopez. Hi, good afternoon. From Milka Angel Talavera, letter B. From Lovely Yarte Gonzalez, space. Good afternoon, Ma'am Maylene Gaking Bengado. And the answer is, so, meron ditong tatlo na kasama sa mga site-specific art forms at isang hindi. Ano kaya yon? Okay, una muna, bago ko ipakita yung sagot, yung nasa picture natin ay isang halimbawa ng tinatawag na flash mob dance. The question is, ang flash mob dance ba ay isang site-specific art form? Let's see. Yes. Okay, ang flash mob dance ay isang site-specific art form at ang hindi kasama doon sa mga given ay painting in the room. There you go. So I hope you have 3 points after the third question. Okay? So let's proceed. Words. Kanina doon sa quiz art natin, there were different words, especially in the choices and in the questions, na malamang ngayon nyo lang naririnig. Kasi we're talking about contemporary arts here. So ano-ano ba yung mga salita na yon? Contemporary arts is probably the youngest among all the movements in arts or the schools of arts. Okay? Kasi, well, the term contemporary adds to its age, di ba? So ano yung mga words na nakita natin kanina? So we have the words such as performance, hybridity, appropriation, space. Then we have shadow play, coffee painting, flash mob dance. Ano yung significance ng mga salitang ito? Yan lang naman yung core ng ating pag-aaralan ngayong araw na to. Okay? So we are going to learn these words based on different examples. But first, let me introduce to you what is contemporary arts as defined by the Paul Getty Museum. So according to them, contemporary arts is arts made and produced by artists living today. So today's artists work in and respond to a global environment that is cultural diverse, technologically advancing, and multifaceted. There you go. So yan yung definition nila ng contemporary arts. So what are these words for? These are the elements or principles of contemporary arts. So let's take them one by one. We have first appropriation. So in the quiz kanina, isa to sa mga options. Pero ano nga ba yung appropriation? Let's learn later on. The next one is performance. This is a classic example of art na ever since performing has been born until today, nandito pa rin siya. Nagbabago-bago lang ng mukha, ng anyo, ng forma. Then we have the element of space. Next, we have the element of hybridity. Ano kaya yung hybridity? May crossbreed kaya ito ng vampire at saka werewolf? Baka may lichens dito. We'll see. And finally, we have the element of technology. So let us take first appropriation. So appropriation, these are existing artworks that are appropriated to another art form. Okay? So by appropriation, we mean that the artist, the contemporary artist, revives the interest in that art form, pero by using another art form. Okay, so halimbawa, pag may nakita kayong, let's say ang favorite painting nyo ay Mona Lisa. Okay, so pwede nyong i-drawing si Mona Lisa, kagaya ng kung paano ito nakikita sa mga examples, pero pwede rin naman kayong gumamit ng ibang art form, kagaya ng halimbawang ito. Okay, so itong halimbawang ito, ay nagpapakita again, ng Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci, pero yung artist dito gumamit ng ibang material. Anong material yon? If you look closely, you will see that this Mona Lisa depiction is made up of different computer parts, computer chips. Okay, so just combining the colors given in those parts of computers, in those microchips, okay, the contemporary artist was able to revive Mona Lisa in a different art form. This class is appropriation. So, pag nakita nyo si Mona Lisa na nakaprint sa isang tote bag, that is appropriation. Pag nakita nyo si Mona Lisa na nakaprint sa earrings, that is also appropriation. Okay? There you go. So, this is appropriation. We have here another example. Ayan, one of my personal favorites, si Van Gogh. You have here a teapot, okay? But its shape and it is painted with Van Gogh's most notable arts or art pieces. Yung sa upper part, yan yung kanyang portrait. And then sa lower part is bits and pieces, bits and parts of his work entitled The Starry Night or Starry Night. Yan. So this is another example of appropriation. So classical example or already existing paintings done and delivered using a different art form. Okay, there you go. So I hope naintindihan natin ang meaning ng appropriation. Moving on to the second element or principle of contemporary arts, we have performance. Now, this is not a new word. Siyempre, alam naman natin to, lalo na kung kayo ay nagro-roleplaying sa lumang klase o nagsasagawa ng theater sa inyong school, hindi na to makabago. Kaya lang, syempre, habang tumatagal, habang nagbabago yung mundo, as we go from modern to ultra-modern, we also explore the different ways of performing. Okay, so bakit? Ba't nagkakaganon? Kasi performing emphasizes spontaneous, unpredictable elements of chance. This is a definition that is given to us by the Walker Art Center. So, performance artists, they have tried to interpret various human activities mula sa mga ordinaryong gawain sa bahay, mga ginagawa natin pang araw-araw, and even rituals para ma-relate ito sa mga mas mahalagang tema, sa mga mas makabuluhang tema like poverty, commercialism, and war. Okay? So, one famous example that we have earlier is the shadow play. Kagaya nga nung ginagawa ng El Gama Penumbra. Okay? It also involves acting, dancing, and several movements. But it primarily concerns the play of shadow. Okay? Pero hindi ito basta pina-perform lang. It has to have a deeper meaning. I remember that one time, one of their performances made the judges of Asia's Got Talent cry kasi napaka-meaningful ng kanilang pagkaka-perform in their shadow play. So this is another example of a contemporary performing art, shadow play. Then we also have human formation. Pwede ring words, for that you will have human sentence formation. So dito, gumagamit ng maraming tao to form sentences or symbols or expressions. Okay? So, ginagawa ito, syempre, for aesthetics na rin, but more importantly, to express or to deliver an important message. So, you have here an example, okay? There you go. So, yun yung performance. And then, one example na nakita natin kanina is nung flash mob. Nung 1980s, actually, uso na ang flash mob sa mga 80s na movies dito sa ating bansa. Okay? Kaya lang hindi pa yun yung term doon. Okay? Pero this time, mga early 90s to up to this moment, nauso yung flash mob to give way to different dance forms and at the same time, delivering important message to people. So, yung mga movies like Step Up, Friends with Benefits, yun yung mga movies na gumamit ng flash mob. Okay? Moving on to the third element, we have space. Now, we're not talking about outer space, pero pwede din naman. I remember in the movie, starring Will Smith, nagpunta siya sa moon, diba, para mag-drawing ng heart na symbol ng kanilang organization, ng kanyang kaibigan. So, pwede rin. Not that I'm declining the idea, pero pwede, diba? Why not? But for our class, space refers to site-specific art form which is performed and positioned in specific spots. Specifically, sa mga public places dapat. Kung saan may mga taong magugulat na lang kung bakit biglang nag-exist itong klase ng art form na ito. Okay? So, here is a famous example from a Filipino artist. This is called Terra Toma 2, War of the Worlds, 2008, and it is an art piece by Leroy New. Ito ay gumamit ng materials like fiberglass, steel, and urethane paint. So, there you go. Para itong reference to Sentai Heroes, if I'm not mistaken, nung ginawa niya ito. But then, the title is Terra Toma 2, War of the Worlds 2008. And pinresent din ito noong 2008 sa Biennial Art Exhibit. Okay? Moving on, another example would be, sinabi ko nga kanina, another example is flash mob. So, it is not just a performing art form, but also space. Kasi ginagawa yan dapat sa mga public places. Okay, so parang it's not a flash mob if you're not going to do it in malls or in parks or in the school. And this involves dancing and singing. So dati dancing lang, pero this time around, why not? Magkasama na yung dancing and singing sa isang flash mob. Okay, there you go. That is space for you. Okay, that is our third element for contemporary art. And the fourth one is my personal favorite also, which is called hybridity. Okay? So it is curious to know that this came from the word hybrid, and alam naman natin pag sinabing hybrid, di ba? Parang it's off the charts kasi you're combining different things, different concepts, different materials. And that is exactly the concept of hybridity in contemporary arts. You are mixing unlikely materials to produce an artwork. So recently, ang isang sikat na sikat sa social media ay yung coffee painting. But in our example here, okay, this is leaf art. This is a piñata made out of leaves. So hybridity. Okay? So parang unusual na gamitin ng leaves as piñata, pero there you go. You have it. This one is, I think, practiced in some parts in Southern America. Another example is food art. Yeah. So you don't just eat food, but you make art out of it first before finally attacking it and, swallowing it for your sustenance, diba? So hindi lang ito yung meron. Meron din tayong food carving na tinatawag. And then, of course, plating is also considered as food art. If you're watching MasterChef, yung lahat ng versions, okay, so yung plating nila, they consider it really a piece of art. Okay? So, this is hybridity. So, and also, kanina sa ating quiz art, yung coffee painting, that is also hybridity. You are painting different images using different varieties of coffee. There you go. And finally, we have technology. Now, class, this is, again, not a new word, okay? We just have to be able to realize that we can also use technology, okay, as a medium for art, for our artistic expression, okay? Because in reality, in our current world, okay, we have to use it, okay, to create, to disseminate, to propagate different works of art. So here are some examples. We have music videos coming from different artists, international and local artists. So in 1979, if I'm not mistaken, in the late 70s, na-produce yung Video Killed the Radio Star. So kasi nga nagsimula na yung era ng mga music videos. So thanks to NTV and Mix for that. Dito sa local channel, meron tayong Mix, diba? And other music videos that we see, in different social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and the like. So, There you go, music video. So ginagamitan din to ng iba't ibang app and software for editing. So they are really considered as also pieces of art. And then of course, you have music and different kinds of digital arts like digital posters, pub mats. Those are examples of arts using the element of technology. Okay, so there you go. So these are the takeaways for today class. We have the different elements or principles of contemporary arts, namely appropriation, performance, space, hybridity, and technology. Let's move on to our task for the day. So I would like to call this task as artistically yours. Okay, so this is your instruction. Are you ready? You're going to assume the role of a contemporary artist. Kunyari, isa kang artist. Okay? It's your passion to produce art. Then you're going to choose an element to use for you to recreate Juan Luna's Polarium. Okay? Para sagutan ito, you really don't have to do the actual art. Maybe you can do that, set that aside for a longer period of time kasi kailangan na mahabang time to produce an art. Pero this time, I just want to know what's your idea in recreating art using the different elements that we talked about earlier. So ito yung template that you have to use. Okay? I choose, start with I choose, then ano yung element? I will, then you have here a bit of an explanation about what you're going to do. This masterpiece will be put in an exhibit in the choose a museum. Siyempre, sayang naman yung art mo kung hindi natin mape-present as an exhibit part in a particular museum. O kung ayaw nyo ng museum, a particular place, okay, in your area. And then it will be called, so give your art a title. So every masterpiece has its own title. Unless gusto mong gumamit ng unknown or anonymous, pwede rin naman. Pero just for the challenge, please give it a title. So are you ready? So this is an example that I have made. This is Juan Luna's Spoliarium. So imagine that and you're going to recreate that using a different element or principle of contemporary art. So this is an example that I have composed earlier. Yan. I will choose hybridity and I will use banana leaves. This masterpiece will be put in an exhibit in Ayala Museum and it will be called Spolarium sa probinsya. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes to type in your answer. Okay, and then for that, I'll leave that to you and I will go to our chat box to make mention of some people with whom I'm very thankful for watching this online tutorial episode. So good afternoon kay Ma'am Rosalie Apeliado Deldo watching from Kidapawan City Division. Good afternoon to Ma'am Vilmar Siscar watching from Catalino Soligen National High School, Pontevedra National High School. Good afternoon, Ma'am or Sir Harlet Vargas. Good afternoon, Mr. Bodoso Carwin, Cecil Rebato. Hi to Rayu Ken James Carley Layson, Jeng Mayat Atseg. Hello, Sir Ariel Mendoza. Ma'am Juliet Fritz Carpio Tabuzo, thank you very much. And again, Ma'am Milka Angel Talavera, Ma'am Chris, Ma'am Jen Cabañas Morada. Hi, Pat Medina, one of our students in Quezon Science High School. Thank you very much for watching. Good afternoon kay Ma'am Elizabeth Montevilla Ariston. At sa lahat po ng nanonood ng online tutorial na ito for Philippine Contemporary Art. So I'm still waiting. Hintay talaga ako sa kung ano yung gusto nyong gawin sa inyong version ng Spoliarium ni Juan Luna. Ano kaya ang pipiliin ninyo? Anong art form? Anong element? Anong principle? Okay? So, when I was browsing Facebook before, may nakita rin akong leaf art. Okay? Na may iba't iba naman siyang design. Yung mismong leaf, yung parang inukit ng artist. Okay? Pwede nyo rin gawin nyo. Kaya lang, Spoliarium is a mural. So, it's up to your imagination how you're able to do that. Okay, so we have here an answer coming from Sir JMB. So, he said, I choose hybridity. I will use coffee granules. And he will have his piece of art displayed in the Philippine Museum Cafe. and Philippine Museum, and he will call it Cafe Spoliarium. That's very nice. So coffee art. Maybe si Sir is into coffee art. Yan. Thank you very much for sharing your answer. Good afternoon din kay Bautista Dave, watching from Luis Y. Ferrer Jr., Senior High School, SDO General Trias City. Okay, from Ruth Jane Laput Adaza, I choose the element space. I will use rocks and sands and other earthly elements. This masterpiece will be put in an exhibit in the Pitan Museum. It will be called Spoliarium de Zamboanga. Very nice. Okay, so talagang pagiging tourist attraction itong pieces of art ninyo, mga ma'am and sir. Okay, so good afternoon, ma'am. Pwede po ba mag face-to-face ngayon po kahit free COVID? I'm sorry, I am not the authority to answer that. But as far as I know, hindi pa naman yan ina-allowed. So watching from Pampanga, good afternoon, Maria Carmen Malyari. And watching from San Jose Norte Elementary School, good afternoon po daw from Ma'am Dayan Grace Campos Balansay. Okay, so thank you very much, Ma'am Marialita Gabuyo. Nice sharing for the lesson, arts. Thanks, watching from Region 2, Isabela. There you go. So, meron pa kayang magpapahabol ng kanilang mga artwork. So far, nakapag-produce tayo ng dalawang artwork nila ngayon, di ba? One for coffee artwork and one for the use of earthly elements, particularly rocks and sands. There you go. So sana ma-feature ito next time. And if teacher halimbawa yung naggawa, o kung hindi man teacher, pero if teacher, then definitely talaga na, kayo na ang sakalam, ika nga. Okay? So, we have another important message here, okay, of thanks from Sir Bautista Dave. Very interesting ang topic, ma'am. Isa daw siya sa mga subject teachers ng CPAR. Dami pong learning, ma'am. Salute po. Thank you very much. There you go. So, I will be still accepting your answers. Kung meron pa kayong isi-send, you can just comment on YouTube and Facebook for this episode of our online tutorial for this afternoon. And to leave you again with words from an important person, this is from Friedrich Nietzsche. He said, "The devil is in the details." Now, this is not directly related to art, but this has been one principle that some artists may have been following, especially those who are really into providing the perfect details for their artworks. Okay? And that is who I leave you with for today. The devil is in the details from Friedrich Nietzsche.